What's going on, everybody? Week 2 of the power rankings are here. Some coaches have risen all the way to the top, and some have fallen out of the top 10. See which coaches have fallen out of the top 10 now. With me today, we have Lord Moet and Lord Envy.
The two lords are here. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Alright, so at number 10, we decided to do a combined power rankings because we would like to just discuss them all at once instead of just going, oh, my number 9 was your number 10, my number 5 was, yeah. So let's just go
Combined.
number 10. We have the Nuzleafs. They are 1-1. They just suffered a loss against the Bullet Punch Club.
Yes. In a very close game. Very, very close game. A pretty good game too, from what I remember.
It was nice. There were some good predictions, you know. Some
There were
nice
both good
aggressive-
predictions and bad plays.
Yeah.
Had a nice mixture of it all.
Yeah. So a little something for everyone, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So he brought a pretty defensive team against Uzi Gunner. And what you do against defensive teams is that you prevent them from going for heel bill and you hit them with a toxic, or you go for a little setup action. I think Uzi Gunner decided to go with the toxic route this time.
Correct. With Espeon, I think he had predicted the Mandibuzz, got that on the Switch. Or I think one of those Pokemon.
I think how it started was Nuzleafs. He stayed in on the Hydreigon with Aegislash and caught. I can't remember exactly what it was.
He caught the U-turn. I think it was the U-turn. Uzi went for U-turn, turn 1.
I don't remember what he toxic though. I think it was either
Stunfisk, right? Yeah.
I think it was Stunfisk. Yeah, he got the toxic off, which helped him out a lot. Set a lot of some pressure on Uzi because he didn't really know. I think it kind of threw him off seeing the Nuzleafs play like that, and like you can hear him like through the battle a couple of times. He was like, "Huh, I didn't think he would do that." So I think his mindset was thrown off on how to play exactly versus the Nuzleafs.
Yeah.
But he kept to his game plan pretty well, which was to win with Hydreigon, and he got a little bit lucky towards the end, if I remember correctly, with an Iron Head flinch.
Yeah, so like our number 10 is also our number 9, so we're not gonna go too deep into that because they played against each other. They're both 1-1. Nuzleafs suffered their first loss, unfortunately, so
Yeah.
because
we had to put Bullet Punch Uzi a little bit higher than him.
of
this
the
one.
head-to-head victory.
Yep, head-to-head victory. And yeah, it was a well-fought game overall.
I agree.
It was nice seeing you know, how he like sort of reacted to the bulkier build that the Nuzleafs brought and was able to take that down.
And at number 8, we have the Detroit Steel Wings, who suffered their first loss of the season against the Starchews. He played pretty good in the beginning.
Dude, he played so
really
good.
well. He played really well up to
He played so
a
good.
certain point.
Like
And
literally up until the game was 6-2, he played so good.
Yeah. Dude, that one play was so like.
yeah, I don't think
So-
I would ever click flamethrower in that situation that he was in against the Hatterene. I don't know, because I feel like I don't know if the Sludge Wave even 100% KO'd. I guess
So the Hatter was at like 30 something.
you say it was 30. I would say it was
Yeah,
like
it would have
40.
been. So it would have gotten KO'd if the Hatterene had stayed in for a Sludge Wave. So
Yeah,
he
it
predicted
definitely
that went into Durant. Fan Attacks predicted that went into Durant, and then Chase caught him with the flamethrower, which was like really like a nice aggressive play.
Very aggressive.
But then what the point at go ahead, Moet. You talk about this one, Moet.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier. The Steel Wings, he had his Goodra. So it was Goodra versus Lycanroc, and then he Draco Meteored the Lycanroc. And he was -2. Starchews brought in the Pangoro full health to the Goodra, which was at maybe about a little less than 50%. And Steel Wings decides to switch his Goodra out at that point. Now, Starchews only has 2 Pokemon left, Pangoro and Quagsire. Steel Wings still has all 6 of his Pokemon. All he had to do, literally, was just attack the Pangoro
with the
and
Drake.
do a little bit of damage to it. That's it.
You just needed the chip. But then as the Gudra switched out into Skarmory, Pangoro went for an SD and reverse swept.
And reverse swept. And then he still had a secondary chance there. I'll give him a little bit of credit because he didn't know that Skarmory would be faster than Pangoro. So he went for the stronger attack and Brave Bird instead of Body Press. But he calced the damage between Body Press and Brave Bird, and the damage roll difference was literally 5%. So going for Body Press would have kept him alive because he wouldn't have taken any recoil damage, and it would have forced Starchoose to go for a second attack, maybe a Bullet Punch to kill, which might not even kill depending on how much recoil Skarmory didn't take. I really think he had 2 chances to win that game towards the end.
Yeah.
And he made the bad play twice.
Let me play devil's advocate here. Let's say the Pangoro goes for Swords Dance
Yeah.
on the Gudra. What's stopping him from going for another Swords Dance?
Skarmory is still faster.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know that.
As soon as he brings it in, he'll find out.
That was gonna be his next switch anyways.
He'll find out the second he brings it in. I promise you.
I mean,
Like literally, what could have
See-
happened was he could have just like gotten the damage off, right? Sacked the Gengar so that Pangoro can't recover with Drain Punch or anything, and then Skarmory would have come in and body pressed it and knocked it out.
so
Chimpact, but even in what you're saying, what does he need Gudra for in a 6-2 scenario? Like when his last Pokemon is Pangoro and Quagsire, and you still have Whimsicott,
Mm-hmm.
what is he still?
okay. What I'm saying is that what if he just uses the Gudra at -2 as setup fodder? That's what
But
I'm saying.
it's still okay.
But even then, Skarmory's still faster. The only priority it has to outrun is Bullet Punch, and he'd find out either way, right after he sacks something and goes
Yeah,
Skarmory.
exactly. He's gonna find out either way.
Also, so what 6 did he bring? Because I felt like everything died to Bullet Punch, right?
Aromatisse, Gengar, Gudra, Skarmory, Terrakion, and Whimsicott.
Okay, so they all died to Bullet Punch except for
Skarmory.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, there was another opportunity that he had with the Body Press Brave Bird. He also could have went into Gengar to get the Curse Body so that he couldn't click Bullet
Also
Punch
true.
anymore. So I mean, yeah, I guess I was just doing a little devil's advocate. Just a little,
I like the devil's advocate.
just a little,
I get what you're saying.
just a little thought
understand.
experiment there. A little thought experiment. Number
Yeah.
7, the Baton Rouge Butterfreeze. This was
Oh,
quite
I
an
remember.
interesting game.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting game.
It
was
went
the start?
well. Like this game went well up to a point. Up to a point where well, there was a speed tie, right?
Yes.
Right.
So before the speed tie even happened, let's talk about how he went into Ditto, got it knocked off, and then he went into Clefable, and then his opponent. That was.
So you're talking about the other guy.
No, it's this game.
Yeah.
So Zero.
yeah, I'm talking about his opponent, but I'm still
Yeah,
talking about the same game.
fruit berries. Yeah, that was fruit
Right,
berries.
right, okay.
Fruit berries should not have ever, in any situation, clicked Thunderwave.
Yeah.
You saw what the set is. You saw that it had Substitute, and you saw that it had Encore. So if you click Thunderwave, you're putting yourself in a position to just lose 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he got out of that situation with the Lucario,
The
Zoroark.
Ditto. Yeah.
I said the Zoroark, but it was actually still a Ditto at the end. And it was a 50-50 for pretty much the game at that point. Kind of. It was a 50-50 for him to either lose 6-0 or stay in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he won the 50-50 speed tie. But I felt like that's a +1 was just toying with him like the entire game, and he got punished because of it. He got punished pretty hard.
Yeah, I think like after it all happened, like the biggest mistake was not clicking Rock Slide with Phalanx when you had 2 chances to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Because the close combat ensured that your defenses are dropped, so that the Psychic KO. I'm pretty sure the Psychic would not have KO'd
Yeah, because you're +1 spit F.
Yeah. So it sort of neutralizes the super effective hit. So he had 2 chances at the rock slide, and he also could have played a little bit safer and just saved the Zorak, because the Zorak also just destroyed his team still. Yeah. So he didn't need to risk the speed tie against the Ditto.
But also, Gumis could have won the game earlier on, because he had the Zatu in. He had the Zatu in on, I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was the Butterfree or the Decidueye. I don't remember which one it was in. The Zatu was in, it used Trick Room, and had he used Teleport, or just, I don't think he had Teleport. I think if he had just switched one time, he could have got 2 or 3 kills with Marowak. But he stayed in and psychic the Decidueye like 3 or 4 times and let his
Trick Room expire.
Let his Trick Room run out. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta play a little bit aggressive.
I mean, that was pretty much it. There's a 50-50 there with the Zoroark. The Thunderwave play should not have happened, and then at the end, I feel like I legit think that that's a +1 was just making unnecessary plays for the sake of making unnecessary plays sometimes in that game.
Yeah, I guess also if the rock slide did miss, then Zatu would have gotten up a Trick Room, right?
Potentially, but
no, he clicked psychic. Yeah,
potentially, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like,
no, he did Trick Room, and then he clicked psychic at the end. So yeah, that's true.
But yeah, but it would have been able to take 1 then.
Also, was it Rocky Helmet? Was that 2? It wasn't, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so like, you would have clicked Rock Slide. You had 2 opportunities to click Rock Slide. There was 3 turns of Trick Room left instead of. There would have been 2 turns of Trick Room left after the Rock Slide hit instead of 3.
Yeah.
So even that was to your advantage. At number 6, we have the Piplups, James Beck.
Dude, he played a fantastic game this week.
He did.
Yeah.
Just a nice and steady dismantling of Patty's team.
Yeah. Patty had an opportunity. So one thing I feel like Patty should be doing more with his team is using Necrozma and Silvally as more offensive Pokemon. Because Silvally is actually just so incredible. Like the 120 base attack of whatever you want to use against your opponent is just so powerful. Flame Charge after Sword Sense actually becomes a reasonable threat. And he could have done that instead of using Parting Shot. And when he was using Parting Shot, he wasn't going out into his offensive Pokemon. He was just trying to use it defensively. Which I don't think he should be doing, but like, back to James Beck, he played this game really well.
Yeah, Patty did bring he brought like a weakness policy in Necrozma, I think both times so far.
Yeah.
But James just had like the responses for it. Rhyperior, I think, tanked the hit and knocked it out after
Rhyperior.
Umbreon foul played.
Yeah, Rhyperior could have tanked it. Umbreon did tank it. He had Frostlass, which was faster. So he had plenty of answers to Necrozma, but like if it was like a Dragon Dance set, it would have been slightly more problematic, but at the same time, still had the answers to it.
Yeah, the cores that he had were so good, and then it just opened up the Frostlass at the end.
The
He
Frostlass
played
endgame.
it pretty.
He didn't get the chance to get the Frostlass endgame because he timed out, but the Frostlass endgame was inevitable because Shadow Ball was cleaned up.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, like, he just played a really solid game. Stealth Rock came in handy, just chipping away at his team, breaking potential sashes, which there weren't any, but they could have.
I didn't even notice he brought Kong. Did he ever switch that in?
No, because it was Flame Orb, and I don't think Flame Orb activated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw that thing. Yeah, he played this game really. He literally just had him from beginning to end.
And then when Patty
Especially
played like Toxic, he healed
first play with the beginning plays with the nasty plot on the Golurk switch.
Yeah.
I think that's what that was, right? He nasty plotted on the Golurk switch to. No. He brought Rotom in on Golurk, and then Patty switched to Jolteon on the Rotom Hydro Pump, and I think he Volt switched as James went for a nasty plot, and then after
Mhm.
that, the game was over.
Yeah.
No, he toxic. That's right.
Yeah,
He toxic as he went for a nasty plot, and then he volt switched and sacked out Creamy, and then after that, he lost all the.
Yeah,
all the
Al Creamy dying was huge because that could have been a problem.
for sure.
Yeah, it was a well played game. So we moved him up.
Number 5, the Wakandan Weevils.
Wakanda Weavers
There
and
it is.
Moet. We had to
Sorry.
drop him down.
I'm sorry.
It had to
tell
drop
you.
me down. It's only right. So if I could just explain myself, there was quite a
okay.
few plays, even as without even having to watch it back over, that I remember, that would suboptimal to say the least.
Mhm.
First of all, not scouting the Jirachi set. I literally said
True.
in the battle, I was like, Jirachi gets it. I was laughing.
It
too.
gets one of
I was
those
like,
cold grasslands, right?
Jirachi
Yeah.
gets a grass move, right? I was laughing, giggling, having a good old time. I didn't even try to even scout it, and I let my Seismitoad die.
Just
I
die.
was like, fuck. Yeah. And then after that, I played the speed tie game, which is never a good game to play. Never played the speed tie game.
I mean, you had to play
I'll
it
let-
though. You had to play it though.
Yeah. You lost the speed type twice.
Yes and no. I did lose the speed tie twice, but I think only the second one mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one
And then I should have.
killed the
He
scrap.
gave me an opportunity to. Oh yes. So there's two. There's two mess ups with Venusaur. One of them, whereas I had, he let my Venusaur stay in front of his Scrafty for at least 8 turns. The sun wore out, so it was at least 8 turns, and I could have put growth there multiple times to try and beat the Scrafty, or at least put more pressure on his team. But I was so thinking that he was going to switch to Dragalge, that I was trying to catch that with the sleep powder. It
Mhm.
didn't work that way, and then I had a second opportunity to keep Venusaur alive, which I should have if I had looked at my team, and I should have realized, based on what I had left and his Scrafty, what I knew about his Scrafty, I should have known that I couldn't beat his Scrafty,
What was
and I should have kept Venusaur alive.
what was your
And he
switch
gave
into
me a
Zam?
chance to. I should have sacked Duraludon. It didn't do anything left at that game.
Okay.
It literally did call.
And then
I
you
should
would
have
have.
sacked that
how
and
would
then
you-
brought in Galvantula, because Galvantula still had the sash intact, and I could have did exactly what I did after, but with Venusaur alive. Had I kept Venusaur alive at that point still,
How
I
did
still could
you?
have won.
How would you have broken the sash for Zam though?
It didn't. Did it have sash? I don't remember.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't remember if it had sash. But
Because-
my Gyarados was max Spadef. So if
Okay.
I had
Yeah, okay.
went Galvantula and attacked, then I could have Dragon Danced in front of the Alakazam, or I could have just attacked it, whichever one.
Okay.
I definitely should have switched my Venusaur out though, because he clicked Psych Up.
Yeah.
I could. So bad.
Pretty bad. Pretty
Yeah.
awful.
Trying to see what
Horrendous.
item this thing was.
I'm
Zam.
pretty sure like it had to be sash, because otherwise you can't run Psych Up effectively, because you're just gonna die.
Oh, he gave me his team. Let me see.
Yeah, it's Sash. It's Sash.
It was Sash.
Psycho Protect, Side Shot
Yeah.
Dazzle.
it was Sash.
What would you have used Seismitoad for? Dragalge? That's it? Rotom?
Yes.
Rotom.
Dragalge and
Rotom.
Primarina. I did have I
the
said
whip.
to outspeed Primarina, and then had power up on it. He did have Rindo Berry, so it wouldn't have done that much anyway.
Yeah, but
You gotta
would've-
start running. You gotta start running Rindo berries on your Seismitoad.
you would have had the Rindo Berry broke for the Gyarados stuff, so it's whatever.
Yeah, but
No.
like I said, I played that game better.
Yeah, awful. Just kidding. Number 4, the Dundee Dials.
Ooh.
2-0. Right now
This
we have
was,
the undefeated teams now. Undefeated.
Undefeated teams up here.
5 to 10, we're 1-1. 4 through 1 are undefeated coaches. 2-0 each. Dundee Dials.
Yeah, this game. I mean, I think it was a pretty well played game overall. I think you definitely made some vital errors that caused.
Explain 2 errors.
Okay, one error I didn't like. So remember how you had that one mon that was gonna die to rocks anyways?
Yep.
I think that one error was staying in with Sigilif on Flygon, because even if you click U-turn, all you had to do is sack that mon to rocks. If you U-turned, you could have easily just gone back out and psychicked again, or if you had crunched like you did, you would have just gone into like Crook or something, and then like knocked or gotten like damage on something else.
The problem with that is I don't have a way of dealing damage to the Flygon effectively.
You had Gorgeist healthier too, didn't you?
Yeah, but even if I did that, then I still would have had to use Gorgeist to do damage, and I still need one more bit of damage.
What are you guys talking about?
I was talking about the Chimp versus Callum game.
Or what play though?
When I stayed in with Sigilyph against the Flygon to psychic it, and he crunched.
And MV saying you should have switched to Crook then?
I should have sacked
Sacked them on the rocks.
Yeah.
Which mon was it again? It was the
It was Scissor maybe.
yeah, Scissor the rocks.
And then brought Crook in after?
Yeah.
Right. I think that's an extension of the play that I was saying, where you kept Gorgeist in on Flygon,
No.
and
That
you
was
were at
before.
like that's what I'm saying. That's an extension of what, because you could have just, like I was saying earlier, you had Gorgeist at enough HP where you could have attacked Flygon with Poltergeist, and if he went for U-turn, you wouldn't have taken as much. He only had what, Cinderace, Flygon, and Serena left.
Yeah.
So if he went to Serena, I'm pretty sure your Gorgeist outspeeds Serena because it's naturally faster. And then you might not have done that much, but you could have used Synthesis on that thing instead of Flygon, number one. Or you could have Toxic it to, like you said, get Crocodile ready for the sweep. Or if he U-turned to Cinderace on the Poltergeist, then you could have killed Cinderace with Poltergeist, because that move is strong as shit. At least Poltergeist plus Shadow Sneak should have killed for sure. Or if he just stayed in and you killed Flygon right there,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sigilyph plus Crocodile could have won the game for you.
Okay. So the scenario that I was worried about was him U-turning out into Serena. So
Okay.
if I got the Flygon dead, I won with the Sigilyph, because
Right.
I just air slash and killed the rest of his team.
Right.
So if you go Serena, I'm worried about him having knockoff Toxic U-turn, because he only revealed Synthesis and Rabbit Spin and U-turn. So I guess the move that
The
I was
last would
worried
have been a
about-
grass move.
I don't know if he's gonna run a grass move, because he's already running Synthesis with heavy duty boots. So I don't know what his last move.
You didn't think he was going to stab?
Yeah, I can't guarantee that, because knockoff is also a really solid move.
But you knock off that's what it brings it back to what I was saying though. The crunch from Flygon only did what, 45% maybe?
Yeah.
Knockoff wasn't gonna KO you.
That's true. So, but what I was also thinking was, if he gets the slow U-turn off and goes into Cinderace, then I get the Poltergeist damage off, but it doesn't really, I don't think the damage really matters that much, because he's max defense, and then my Crook can't kill the thing anyway. The Serena.
What was your
after
Sigilyph?
It was Scarf with Air Slash Psychic Defog Trick.
So you would have had Sigilyph, Crocodile. Is that it? Alive? Gorgeist would have died. So let's say you Poltergeist Serena twice, and then he U-turns into Cinderace, and then he kills Gorgeist. You would only have Crook and Sigilyph alive, right?
Yeah.
But Sigilyph would have been at full?
No, it's at 50 HP.
It would have been at 50?
Yeah.
So Serena taking 2 Poltergeist hits, you could have gone into Crook right there, right? Because Flygon was at what?
Flygon dies to anything on my team. Except Shadow
And
Sneak.
did Sigilyph outspeed it with Scarf? I don't know. If
No.
it was speed 2. No.
If Sigilyph
So how
outsped,
much-
then I won.
What was the Crook set?
Scarf.
It was dual Scarf.
Yeah.
So you could have gone Sigilyph on the Cinderace then, and then attacked, forced a Flygon in, and then that would have been, was that a 50-50? How much was the Crocodile at? Is that even a 50-50?
The Crocodile's at full.
It was so that's not even a 50-50 because it's Intimidate. So you can just switch to Crocodile
On the Cinderace?
on the Flygon.
When?
So you have Sigilyph in. You bring Sigilyph in on Cinderace after it kills Gourgeist. You kill Cinderace, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then he would bring in Flygon, and then you can go Crocodile. And then what does he go? What move did he go for? Outrage,
So
Crunch, U-turn.
So I Poltergeist repeatedly.
You would have Poltergeist Serena twice,
Yeah.
and he would have went for Crunch or Outrage or U-turn, and brought Serena back in on the Crocodile.
And then the Serena is low. I get Sigilyph. But the problem with that is I don't know if he has Sucker Punch or not on his
He didn't have a Dragon move on Flygon, by the way.
I think you would have won with that.
Yeah, I would have won, but the problem with that is I didn't know if he had Sucker Punch or not on the Cinderace.
I feel it.
What would he?
Yeah, also it's still gonna be a 50-50 with the.
What would he need Sucker Punch for against your team?
I mean, it's just good coverage in case I get a speed boost on something.
Because core change, he brought core change. That makes a lot of sense because you have spike stacking on your team.
Yeah, but he also has 2 route spinners.
You have 2 spin blockers.
Yeah, but my spin blockers don't beat his route spinners.
He did a pretty good job.
Yeah, because like you can just knock off and toxic.
Yeah. But I also think the burn on the Scizor is really bad too.
Yeah, if he didn't burn the Scizor, I was like 80% favored in that game, like up to that point in the game, and then when he got the burn, it was like a 50-50 because Cycle Cut plus Quick Attack. I think I guarantee win the game with Scizor not being burned because Scizor actually swoops the rest of his team.
Dude, I also think had you took a couple more plays, a couple more risks, you could have won this game for sure.
I mean,
Just whoever took a couple more plays would have won.
I mean, the risk that I took was going into Scizor on the Tentacruel. But
it was a good game.
Yeah,
it was a good game.
It was a close game.
Yeah, I liked it.
Number 3, we have the Antarctic AEGISLASHES.
Visually
beat Chimp week 1, Moe at week 2.
Pretty solid victories.
Yeah, visually, he played his team exactly how he played it perfectly. He kept his Scrafty alive, knowing that it could beat the rest of my team. I think I didn't watch his side. I would assume that he hoped that I didn't have bounce on my Gyarados. And
that Ancient Power Jirachi was fun to see. I was expecting him to bring Meteor Beam, to be honest.
I feel like Meteor Beam
I
would
also
better.
thought he was gonna bring Meteor Beam too.
Because Ancient Power is not strong enough, so I was like, it's not good enough.
Yeah, like Power Her Meteor Beam would have been fire.
Yeah, I agree.
But like I guess he wanted the Aqua Berry, so he couldn't afford the item slot.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, he did play it well, but like he was willing to sack the Scrafty, which would have enabled your Gyarados to just win the game. So I don't know about that. You could have played the Venusaur more aggressively against the Scrafty, knowing that he still had an Alakazam in the back that you couldn't break through if it was Ash, which they likely are going to be against the Sun team.
I agree.
So, like, you're not going to get a sweep with Venusaur outside of the Sun, so you probably should weaken the Scrafty as much as possible or try to get a kill on it.
I mean, at some point in time, Mo could have just clicked Growth when the Sun was still up.
Anyway, 5 turns, 6 turns, 8 turns. So.
What do you mean? The Sun died.
That's what I'm saying. Any one of the 8 turns of Sun.
Yeah, the Sun was up for a while before that.
And then any one of the 10 turns afterwards while I was clicking Sleep Powder. And I finally clicked Growth like 12 turns later.
No, the problem with that mindset is that his Venusaur can't touch the Dragalge.
Which is what I thought, but it never came in. I guess it's a hindsight thing. But
yeah,
I agree with Envy. I should have played more aggressive for sure.
You can't consider the fact that you're walled by Dragalge because, I mean, like you have to consider that. I mean, because he should be bringing that in, knowing your moveset. He knows you have Giga Drain. He knows you reeled your entire moveset when he had the Scrafty in. So what he should have done was, instead of letting you kill the Scrafty potentially, he should have just went out immediately into Dragalge because he gave you multiple opportunities to kill the Scrafty.
But that's my thing. It's like I was saying with the other people, and I didn't realize what I was playing. I was just playing the game instead of playing who I'm playing.
You think he knew about Sleep Plus?
Yeah.
Yes, I would think so. That's another thing I was kind of thinking too, but I was like, for sure he knows about Sleep Plus.
Yeah, because he had Tango in week 1.
He mentioned it before, yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of my Pokemon was not sleeping, and he was like, "I can't put something to sleep."
Yeah, he's like, I was so used to VGC rules. I remember him saying that. I think I just played bad. I could have played more aggressive. That's on me.
Number 2, we have the New York DREEPYS Pokemon MD. So this was a game where he pretty much just used Slowbro to, like, he milked the Slowbro so much. Slowbro, like, it super effective.
Turn 1 Scald, turn 2 Scald, turn 3 I think was Scald. I think turn 4 was Scald.
Yeah, just Scald, fish for burns. If you don't get it, you have the regen, you have plenty of HP to work with. And once you do get the burns, which he did immediately against the Rillaboom, must be nice, by the way.
Must be nice to be Pokemon MD.
Must be nice.
Yeah, but that was just a nice dismantle of Nexus' team. I really want to see like Nexus. Like he makes great switches and stuff, but he just never capitalizes on the switches. Like he never like attacks. He just keeps switching.
One of the things, like the weakest move that you can make in Pokemon is switching, in terms of not disregarding.
We've been through this, Chimp.
Disregarding position. It's literally fundamentally the weakest move you can make in Pokemon is switching.
I don't think so.
Disregarding positioning. If all you do is switch, you're never going to win the game.
Okay, I agree with you.
That's true. If all you do is switch,
if all you do is quick protect, you'll never win the game either.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, that's what Nexus was doing for the first couple of turns. He was just trying to put himself in position to be able to deal with a Slowbro or a Pokemon that Joey was going to switch in, but it never happened. And because it never happened, he put himself in a really, really weak position because his team just took damage over and over again repeatedly.
Yeah.
And the Slowbro remained healthy. And even when the Slowbro took damage, it was going to regen the HP back, especially with grassy terrain.
So I think it's better to say switching is like one of the most volatile moves you can make, maybe, because the outcome is it can be really good or really bad for you.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm saying is that repeatedly
you can make
switching.
A switch that's amazing. But
Yeah.
what you said to start this off, because Envy heard it too, is you said switching is one of the worst things you could do.
No. I didn't say switching. I didn't say switching is bad. I didn't say switching is bad.
Envy.
I mean, that's what it kind of
I said
like.
switching. I said switching is weak. I didn't say it was bad. I said it was weak.
Hey, I mean, I just don't think.
I'm gonna just say it depends on the situation. I'm just gonna say it depends completely on the situation. In Nexus' situation, it was very bad.
If you have hazard up and you switch, that's fine. Because if you're forcing your opponent to switch.
Yeah, of course.
But
even if you don't have hazards, what if you're just switching to force your opponent into a certain Pokemon?
yeah, I said irregardless of positioning. If you're just switching for the sake of switching, it's not doing you any good.
Okay, but it's also regardless.
Positioning.
Switching is kind of trying to get yourself in a better position, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but he wasn't putting himself in any position. He was just switching to.
Well, yeah. I meant switching in general. I wasn't talking about Nexus.
Yeah, I think
Unfortunately.
his switching wasn't.
I'm sorry. My argument is too 5-head. Whatever.
I think it's just a bad argument, but we'll let it go.
Like versus me, Nexus was making fantastic switches, but he just didn't have he just didn't break my team.
That doesn't.
It's no.
How's
Doesn't sound like
because he could have switched. He could have just keep.
that sounds like the opposite of good switches.
No, but like no. He was making good switches though. But like he just didn't punish. Like he just didn't punish those switches.
How's a good switch if you don't punish?
It's a good switch, but it's not a good follow up.
Yeah, if you don't follow up properly, it's a bad switch in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I switch to Keldeo on your Chansey and you have the Tentacruel, with water Jellicent, then
Right.
then the switching is meaningless.
It is
But what if
meaningless.
I, what
And
if
then
I double again to
exactly.
attack type?
That's exactly what next is. He
Something.
doubled like twice on me, and then after that it just
And then it fell apart.
evaporated. Like at any point in time, you could have gone a Weavile and just click knock or just spammed like an attack.
True.
But yeah, that's besides the point. Oh, that's kind of the point in this game too.
You can't switch to your defensive Pokemon when there's no threat. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway.
obviously Joy didn't need to switch because there was no threat. He just had to keep clicking Scald.
Yeah, he just gets Scald Burns.
Yeah.
Number 1, the reigning. Number 2, San Diego Gym Chargers.
That's me.
Played
Go ahead and
Nexus-
talk about my game, guys.
Played Nexus week 1, played Magnitude week 2. In this matchup particularly, Steve bought a Chandler. And that Chandler was the answer to Bronzong and or Centiskorch. But early on in the game, the Chandler went down, Mayday, to the Lantern Volt Switch.
Right?
It was
Yeah.
He earthquaked on the Bronx.
Predicted the switch and clicked the earthquake. Yes.
So the earthquake did the main damage. Boom. The main hit to the body. Body. And then brings in the lantern. We hit him with a headshot. Boom.
Yep. Knocked it out.
Knocked it down on the canvas. Out. Fainted. And then after the Chandler went down, Iron Defense, Body Press, Bronzong. There's really not a good answer to it. You had plenty of other Pokemon, but they didn't really get a chance to shine because you just had so many. It was a bountiful of riches, I would say.
Yeah.
As an example, where like
The only
could've-
thing he had for it was Como-O, and he let that thing get weakened, and then once that was weakened, Centiskorch picked off, I guess Togekiss picked that off, and then Centiskorch beat the remaining Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's just like Ferrothorn and Comfy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it's like there was multiple ways that Envy could have won after he dealt the initial damage to the Chandler and the Kamo, but it was mainly just the Bronzong and the Centiskorch near the end.
Yep, I agree. It was a good game. Envy out prepped. It was good prep, and
prep,
then he
prep.
played it properly. Played exactly how we needed to.
Thank you.
No unnecessary double switches.
There was a couple of
No unnecessary double switches.
No unnecessary double switches.
It's unnecessary, I guess. No.
Fine, there were some double switches.
Were there any double? I don't remember having
I
any
don't
double
remember any
switches.
double switches.
Exactly. What are you arguing about, Moet?
I literally wasn't even, I was trying to remember. I was literally saying I don't remember, and then you just cut me off.
That's true. I apologize.
Sorry,
I didn't.
I was surprised when he went hard into the Barraskewda. That took about 70, and then
He went
Let
hard
that-
into it on what?
on Togekiss's Air Slash, it took about 70 something, 75, and then he got picked off with U-turn. So that was the only other Pokemon I think that could have checked the
That's right, and
Centiskorch.
then U-turn with Dragapult to kill it, right?
Mm-hmm. But overall, it was a pretty solid game.
A lot of games this week were very fun to watch. Really good slate of games.
I
Solid
spent
slate.
about 3 hours at work watching them.
Yeah.
Next week, what are we looking forward to? Who are you
Yeah. Let's see who are some of the matches for next week. Let's see here. So week 3, upcoming, we got
Joy versus Uzi.
Joey versus Uzi will be a pretty interesting one to watch. I play Feint Attacks. Moet's gonna be playing against.
the Butterfreeze.
Ooh, that's gonna be actually. I'm excited for that one too. I want to see
That
what
should be a good
goes on there.
It should be a good game. When does this go out?
This-
We can do it tomorrow, Thursday.
Oh, okay. I can't say my strategy yet.
But actually, dude, like I saw that's a bring that one Dreadnought had Attract.
Yeah,
I
he
did.
You
brought,
better watch out.
He brought a check.
He brought a track on that.
He saw team preview. He's like, there's 3 females on this team or something.
Sure,
Dude, that's like next level thinking. Like I would never think of that. Like it's too smart.
I would never even consider that because it's literally a 50-50.
Yeah, all my Pokemon are gender fluid, so I don't worry about that.
Yeah, he did it. He did. I think he explained that he did it though, because when Ditto copies, it'll only have access to head smash.
That is, he did say that. He really wanted Ditto to come out and head smash him back.
True. A lot of his team did that, where the Ditto couldn't do anything because it was either behind a sub, you kill yourself, so you set up with another Pokemon. But that's how you play against Ditto.
Who's the Piplups again?
The Piplups.
That's a James.
And then who's the Dundies? The Dundee Dolls?
Callum.
That should be a good game too.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, the 2-0 versus 1-1, but the recent win was a dominant one.
Yeah, so that should be a good game. Okay, some good games coming up.
Ooh, 0-2s going against each other.
Which one we got?
Philadelphia Scissors versus the Sin City Scissors.
Oh, the 0-2.
Okay.
Let's go.
Little, and it's the Scissor versus the rival Scissor.
Oh, that is true. Scissor versus Scissor crime.
Yeah, Scissor versus Scissor. Who is the better Scissor? Who is the incorrect Scissor?
Dude, I can't lose.
I got my money on Sin City for sure.
Okay. That's fine.
Sure.
That's fine. No, that's cool. No, that's cool. That's cool.
Is it cool?
That's cool.
All right.
I mean, the only teams that I've lost to are undefeated so far, but that's just okay.
So let's wrap this.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.